I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
They ain't telling nobody. Because if you're telling, you can't even look forward to going home.
The BMF empire is in chaos after reports surfaced that Big Meech and his son, Lil Meech, are locked in a bitter feud over $10 million in allegedly stolen funds. What was once viewed as the tight bond holding the family legacy together has now turned into a public war that threatens to shatter everything they built.
Do you think Big Meech told on somebody to get out, snitched, did anything extra?
No. Let me tell you why. Big Meech paperwork is public records. There is no proof that Big Meech said, hey, bust him, bust him, bust him. Now, the situation with the lady Tammy, the female that he cool with or whatever, mess with whatever, I was having an argument with somebody about this last night. Now, if we go by prison rules and standards, Big Meech didn't sit down with the agents and say, hey, my bro gonna go ahead and settle a boy up for me, so make sure y'all give me the credit. So we couldn't make a move on him because his name not in the paperwork for saying, authorizing this. Now, what she did, what would happen, the killers, the homies would be like, well, listen, bro, she your people, she did that with your name on it, so you gotta have her hit. You gotta either have her killed, or you gotta bring a move to her because she implicated your name, or the people got your name, your BMF, whatever, in this situation. You gotta handle this. So I was telling him, I said, bro, this is one of them situations where he had a ride or die. She jumped on him like, I'm gonna get him out here by any means. And you know, I say now, we can't just up and say this. You know, people be like, common sense, well man, did they have that talk? I don't know. So I don't think, you know, I got my own situation, so I don't really think that for into nobody else's situation anyway, but I do my little content. Yeah. But if, you see, you know, it's selective politics and it's selective who they gonna call a rat or who they not gonna call a rat in this industry. So we've been saying that since I've been home.
According to insiders, Big Meech was alerted to suspicious money moves that traced back to his son. The allegations claim Lil Meech siphoned millions from BMF-related accounts, fueling personal projects and flashy spending, while neglecting obligations tied to the family brand. Word of the betrayal allegedly triggered Meech's fury, leading to heated confrontations through recorded phone calls from prison. The fallout has quickly spiraled beyond private family drama. Street affiliates and business partners tied to the BMF name are said to be divided, with some siding with Big Meech and others backing Lil Meech as the new face of the brand. The accusations of theft have only added fuel to the fire, leaving fans questioning the stability of the BMF empire and the future of its image in both hip-hop and mainstream culture.
BMF Immortal, and it's cool. Like sometimes we switch perspectives, so it's from a law enforcement perspective.
Oh wow!
Instead of it being from the, you know, the actual hustler side or the aspirational side.
Complicating matters further is the role of outsiders. Rumors suggest rivals, including Rick Ross and even 50 Cent, are watching closely, each with ties to BMF through music and television. With millions on the line, the situation has now become bigger than just family. It's about the empire itself and who really controls it. What once seemed like the perfect passing of the torch has turned into an ugly war of trust, betrayal, and survival. Big Meech's anger has drawn a line in the sand, and Lil Meech's next moves will determine whether BMF's name continues in unity or collapses under the weight of family betrayal. This isn't just money, it's the heart of a legacy on the verge of destruction. Big Meech has just sent a serious warning to 50 Cent, telling him to stop mentioning his son or face heavy consequences. This came shortly after 50 posted a controversial video of Lil Meech allegedly turning in an old associate to the police, letting him take the blame. That same associate has now sided with 50, claiming his prison sentence was the result of Lil Meech's betrayal. For months, 50 Cent has been openly criticizing both father and son, and it seems Big Meech has finally drawn a line. Observers warn that if the situation escalates further, it could spiral into something far more volatile. Everything began with a body cam video recently uploaded by 50. In that footage, Lil Meech appears to sell out a friend during a tense traffic stop. The associate was arrested while Lil Meech allegedly avoided charges, fueling speculation about his role in the incident.
And got me before I even knew I could even act at all, before acting was even a thought. And my dad called me one day and told me that he wanted me to fly to Atlanta in his presence so I could meet 50 for the first time and see the first casting that he was doing. You know, so I flew out there and it was lined around the street. And the first time I met 50, you know, it was just genuine. And I sat by him and we actually got to watch people audition for a couple hours. And the next day he called me, 8 o'clock in the morning, woke me up. I'm like, damn, 50 calling me. So I answered the phone, he like, hey, what you think about going to acting classes? I want you to play your dad. And at first, you know, it sounded crazy, but of course, you know, I'm gonna do it. I'm not doing nothing, so of course I wanted to do it, you know, I just didn't know if I could do it.
Lil Meech is seen in the back of a patrol car as both men are detained. After officers mention finding a firearm, Meech asks, "Did you find the other stuff?" That remark prompted the police to intensify their search, even though they had just noted that possession of the firearm was not illegal. The associate who served time following the arrest later resurfaced online. Posting under the handle 3Lux, he shared body cam clips along with personal photos of him and Lil Meech together, claiming betrayal was at the root of his incarceration. The associate publicly accused Lil Meech of cooperating with police, claiming it directly led to charges involving both firearms and narcotics. In the caption accompanying the body cam footage, he wrote that this was the reason he had to serve federal time. His statement read, "See this? I can't respect fake people like Lil Meech. I thought this was real life, but it clearly wasn't." He even took a jab at Big Meech, alleging that he raised someone who folded under pressure. According to him, Lil Meech let him shoulder the responsibility for both the gun and drugs while he was asleep inside the car. The associate added that 50 Cent backed him for exposing Lil Meech as a snake. He claimed Lil Meech had admitted guilt, apologized, and promised repayment, while simultaneously showing disloyalty to 50. His statement questioned why Lil Meech was asking officers if they had confiscated the guns and other stuff from him, suggesting that behavior looked like outright telling. He explained the only reason he associated with Meech was because he believed him to be solid.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
You know, I never done that, man. I don't even know where they come up with that, man. And then the guy's a rat, man. He been working for the feds for 2 years now. You know what I'm saying? Cooperate. So you can look at my paperwork, man. My paperwork, if I was ratting it, it'd be on CNN. You know what I mean?
But that assumption proved wrong. He continued, saying he had known his homie for over 20 years, yet betrayal revealed disloyalty at the core. He questioned how anyone could remain aligned with someone who placed him in a dangerous and life-changing position. He explained that he had to spend thousands on attorneys and multiple bonds, while Lil Meech faced no consequences. Meanwhile, others were allegedly protecting Meech's image and helping him stay polished, even while he was struggling with drug use. The associate also revealed that his financial investments collapsed, businesses suffered, and he is now at risk of losing valuable years with his child due to Lil Meech's alleged betrayal. He directly called out the hypocrisy in Big Meech's long-standing motto, writing, "These are the same people who say death before dishonor, but to them those words are empty." As of now, Lil Meech has not officially responded to the claims. However, 50 Cent has, and his response only added more fire to the controversy. 50 Cent wasted no time in calling out Lil Meech for suspicious behavior. He began by sharing a screenshot of Michael Rainey Jr., one of the stars of Power, posting on Instagram. In his caption, 50 praised Rainey while mocking Lil Meech, writing, "I'm proud of you, Michael. I looked at your page. See what happens when you don't use drugs and spend all your money on Chrome Hearts jeans." The subtle jab set the tone for what came next. Just hours later, 50 escalated the situation by resharing the viral body cam footage where Lil Meech allegedly threw his own friend under the bus during a police encounter.
In the bag?
Yes, I'm a minor, sir. I have security guards. They left that in my bag, sir. I did not pack my bag.
Well, we can get that all straightened out after the fact.
Alongside the clip, He posted screenshots of the friend's accusations and added another cutting caption. "How are you going to drop your strap and drugs on your man's lap while he's asleep? Like here, take the charge." His mocking tone made it clear he believed the actions revealed disloyalty, but 50 wasn't finished. He returned with yet another post, this time using a still from the BMF television series to further troll Lil Meech. His caption read, "First he went to the airport with a gun and got caught panicking. Now he's on tape telling on his friends." The reference connected directly to a separate leaked video involving Lil Meech at a TSA checkpoint. In that footage, TSA officers discovered an unloaded firearm inside his luggage. Although the weapon wasn't loaded, Lil Meech didn't possess a license, which led to his arrest. Strangely, instead of calmly handling the situation, he argued with authorities, claiming he wasn't legally an adult despite being 23 years old. The explanation was widely ridiculed online. To make matters worse, he then attempted to use celebrity status as leverage, telling TSA agents his real name and asking if they knew who he was. The desperate attempt to sway officials into giving him a pass only fueled criticism, with many calling it an embarrassing moment for someone trying to uphold a street image. 50 Cent has built a reputation for stirring controversy, and the release of new body cam footage allegedly showing Lil Meech betraying a friend gave him fresh material for his trademark Instagram posts.
Okay, so 50 Cent blasted Lil Meech and posted video footage and evidence of him allegedly snitching on his security. The security, who ended up taking the fall for everything, said that he was asleep when Lil Meech threw everything in.
The clips, along with 50's commentary, immediately set social media on fire and reignited speculation about loyalty and betrayal. But this time, things escalated quickly. Lil Meech's father, Big Meech, finally broke his silence, stepping in to defend his son. After 50 posted several shady comments, questioning his parenting and accusing Lil Meech of snitching, Big Meech responded publicly. He shared pictures of himself standing alongside his son with the caption, "Nothing can stop us. We are all the way up still." The message was simple, but it carried the weight of defiance. Behind the scenes, however, Big Meech may have gone further than just defending his family online. Following 50's repeated attacks, rumors began circulating that Big Meech personally reached out to one of 50's longtime associates with a clear warning: stop targeting his son or face the consequences. For someone with his background, such a message carried serious weight. Big Meech has never been known for empty threats, so the shift in tone immediately drew attention. Reports even surfaced claiming that several producers from the BMF television series stepped away from the project, allegedly to avoid being caught in the middle of real-world tension spilling into the entertainment space. The possibility of genuine conflict between 50 Cent and Big Meech had fans and insiders alike on edge. It's also important to recognize that 50's attacks didn't begin with this recent video. The feud traces back months, when Big Meech's name was tied to rapper Rick Ross. That connection appeared to light the fuse, prompting 50 to accuse Big Meech of cooperating with authorities to shorten his sentence under the First Step Act. To back his claims, 50 even circulated what he called official court documents and pointed fingers at longtime BMF associate Tammy Cowens, suggesting betrayal from within. The result was a feud that not only pitted one of rap's most outspoken figures against a legendary street name, but also dragged family, associates, and even television producers into the storm. Tammy Cowens was one of the names that surfaced in 50 Cent's allegations, but the reality is different from the accusations. Official records show that nothing in Big Meech's case suggests he ever cooperated with law enforcement. He served 27 years of a 30-year sentence, with the reduction credited to adjustments in federal sentencing guidelines rather than any form of cooperation. In a rare prison interview, Big Meech directly addressed the rumors, stating that if he had ever snitched, it would have been front-page news across the country. Despite this, the snitching narrative continues to fuel tension. Many argued that after serving nearly 3 decades behind bars, 50 Cent had no legitimate grounds to label Big Meech a snitch. On the other hand, some saw Big Meech's decision to align himself with Rick Ross as an act of betrayal. This was particularly controversial because 50 had publicly supported Meech's family during his incarceration and had even given Lil Meech his acting breakthrough in the BMF series. According to 50 Cent, the true reason for their falling out wasn't legal matters, but jealousy. He claimed Big Meech felt threatened by the strong bond forming between 50 and Lil Meech, which eventually caused the elder Meech to cut off financial support for his own son. This fueled speculation about a deeper rift within the family. 50 also went further, criticizing Big Meech as a poor role model. He alleged that Meech encouraged Lil Meech to waste money and lean into drugs, while 50 himself tried to provide stability. In one of his most striking claims, 50 revealed that Lil Meech struggled with substance issues during the filming of BMF, and it was 50 who stepped in to get him professional help. On Instagram, 50 recounted incidents where he warned Meech's associates about drug use and reckless spending. He even said he personally sent Lil Meech to rehab after troubling behavior was noticed. Behind the scenes, 50 described chaotic moments on set, including someone vomiting during a weapons test and finding canisters of whippets inside Lil Meech's vehicle. From the very beginning, Lil Meech admitted in early interviews that he felt lost when entering the entertainment world. According to 50, this was the reason he took Meech in, providing unpaid acting lessons and guidance that helped shape his career. Yet, despite those efforts, the fallout between 50 Cent and Big Meech has only grown more bitter over time. The BMF television series became both a groundbreaking project and a battleground for rising tensions between 50 Cent and the Flenory family. On the surface, the show looked like a cultural triumph. It reintroduced the Black Mafia Family story to a new generation, while also launching Lil Meech into Hollywood as the face of his father's empire. But behind the curtain, what started as an opportunity quickly evolved into a storm of disagreements, power struggles, and bruised egos. 50 Cent envisioned the series as a gritty, authentic portrayal of the BMF legacy, highlighting not just the glamour but also the downfall of the empire. He invested resources coaching Lil Meech and carefully crafting the production so it carried the weight of realism. Yet reports suggest that tension began to surface when creative control and ownership entered the discussion. Some insiders claim Big Meech grew uncomfortable with how certain storylines framed the organization, feeling they leaned too heavily into the criminal elements without showing the loyalty, business skills, and influence that made BMF a cultural phenomenon. The clash became more personal as the show's success grew. With BMF pulling strong ratings and generating attention across networks, 50 Cent emerged as the clear face of the production. Critics praised the casting and narrative direction, but some in Meech's circle allegedly felt the portrayal was less about honoring the empire and more about cementing 50's dominance in the television industry. Whispers of dissatisfaction didn't stop there. Rumors circulated that a handful of producers quietly walked away from the project, not because of his performance, but because of unease about the drama building between 50 and the Flenory family. For them, the risk of being caught between one of hip-hop's sharpest moguls and one of the culture's most legendary names wasn't worth the paycheck. What makes it more complicated is that BMF was supposed to be a unifying project, a bridge between rap, television, and history. Instead, it's now seen by many as the very battlefield that deepened the rift. With accusations of betrayal, jealousy, and snitching overshadowing the success of the show, the narrative has shifted from celebration to conflict, raising doubts about how far this feud could really go. Lil Meech completely wasted the opportunity, allegedly blowing through $5 million in only 3 years instead of securing long-term investments or meaningful assets. Reports claim the money disappeared into luxury cars, flashy jewelry, high-end designer clothes, and short-lived moments of status. What could have been generational wealth turned into a revolving door of purchases with little real value. Considering everything 50 Cent did to guide and reshape Lil Meech's career, many argue that his criticism carries weight. He positioned himself as both a mentor and a lifeline when things spiraled. Yet now the fallout paints a complicated picture. Still, the persistent snitching allegations shift the debate into murkier territory. According to people close to the situation, this controversy exposes a major contradiction. Critics claim 50 selectively calls out certain individuals as snitches, while staying silent when it comes to others within his own circle. That inconsistency has left some questioning his motives, forcing the industry to reassess where loyalty, credibility, and influence truly lie in this feud. And that leaves a bigger question hanging in the air. Is this conflict really about betrayal and street codes, or is it more about power, image, and who controls the narrative? Either way, the fallout between 50 Cent, Big Meech, and Lil Meech is far from over, and the spotlight on their fractured relationship continues to grow brighter. If you want the full truth to come to light, make sure to keep this conversation alive. Smash that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives. Stick around, because next time we're pulling back the curtain on another story the industry doesn't want exposed.